I swear to God, if millennials were not freaking out on TikTok last night, I don't know what I witnessed. Look, President Trump, outside Air Force One, says, well, I'm looking to ban TikTok as soon as tomorrow, which would have been today. And let me tell you, if you were on that app between about 11 p.m. and 1 a.m., yeah, I got to sleep a little late, the outpouring of sort of that mantra, we'll remember, and hey, follow me on Instagram. Did I join in? Yeah, because let's say it was banned the next day. President Trump could have very well done it. But he didn't. And TikTok is still here in America. And here's the biggest story of all tonight here on Alex Garrett Podcasting. Not only is TikTok still here, it looks like the amazing part of this, the China aspect of this, has seemingly been sold off. This is amazing because, as you know, there was talk about Microsoft coming in and saving TikTok. They've been trying to ban this app for quite a while. And yet, it's still here, even after what it looked like would be not being here. ByteDance, I believe is what it's called, sold its part. And now the latest is that, ByteDance has reportedly agreed to divest from U.S. operations after Trump says plan to buy it entirely. Microsoft and ByteDance put TikTok talks on hold. And then here's the other interesting thing. And so, if the China tie is going to be out of TikTok's hair, if the data mining does stop, ladies and gentlemen, another incredible moment in the fight against China. Because that would mean President Trump and his threat got the Chinese aspect of it, ByteDance, to sell its stake. And so finally, this app, and by the way, this is an American app as well, but this app could be China free. And look, I know I've talked about this over and over, but this is a country that has tried to infiltrate through our stock exchange in Chicago. They tried to buy that. They've tried to literally take our information through TikTok. And because President Trump said that he wanted to ban, I mean, this is some serious stuff what he said last night outside of Air Force One. And here's the funny thing. He said he was going to sign a presidential order, but that did not happen. That did not happen yet. Therefore, as the song goes, all right, we're here, just trying to pull up the audio because it is incredible how Trump saying this. And I swear to God, I want to get you this audio. Just hang tight with me. Because Trump saying this is probably the most firestorm setting comment I've seen on an app. I mean, there were people literally mourning the fact that he was about to ban TikTok. Now, it could still happen, but if the biggest thing of the day is that this Chinese tie is out of American hair, holy crud, what a mission accomplished that is. Fact is, we don't want any Chinese involvement. We don't even want Russian involvement in our social media platforms. I'd say we don't even want them at the G7 summit, okay? Let's make that clear. But if you have the Chinese owned company ByteDance selling off its stock, that helps the cause. And that further proves, in a way, Trump is winning against China here. Now, it may be weird to say that because the virus did escape from China and has ravaged us completely. And honestly, this could be looked at as a win if the Chinese are out of our hair on social media, especially such a widely used TikTok app. And so let's look at the deeper picture. There are two deeper pictures, actually, to be quite honest with you. Firstly, what this app did for people during quarantine and for myself was bring out a creativity I didn't even know I had in me or was willing to explore. Brought out a way for people to express themselves during a time of such chaos and sadness and madness too, that this app was there for those who wanted to own it. I also got to know many in the community that have crutches and many in the community that are just working hard and trying to keep their lives going during this. So when I heard it was banned, of course I'm sad. But I've never seen a whole app mourned more than I ever saw this after Trump made the announcement. I've never seen an app so mourned. You know, if they said Tinder, we're going to ban Tinder, I think people at this point would be like, sure, why not? Or if they were to ban, I don't know, other stuff, I'm sure some might be, all right, well, it is what it is. But this app really did bring communities together. And it felt like one funeral march or one goodbye party after another. Crying was happening. And then I just thought, if we're mourning an app over people, where does that put us? And I get it, we're mourning the app because of the people that we met and the people that we got to connect with. Yes, that is true. But if we can also direct the energy of losing an application on our phone toward helping those when there's not a crisis, helping those when there's not a massive unrest. On a regular day, pre-pandemic, pre-George Floyd, pre-even cops being killed, do you ever think to yourself, I want to help someone today? Well, maybe that is why God put a pause or reacted to the virus by putting a pause on this country. Is to actually say, yes, I want to help someone today. And boy, did we see the help. We saw the help through videos of nurses being cheered on, and it was beautiful. We saw the help. We saw the encouragement during that time. God really was like, all right, you want to help? We're going to put a pause so you can focus on helping. But for a whole sector to mourn the app, I just also say, can we mourn and really try and fight for the American city, the people in the American city, the business owners in the American city? Can we take that energy of mourning the app and putting it also towards fighting to keep businesses open, fighting to keep everything running as it's supposed to be. See, because if we can fight for TikTok and fight to keep it on and mourn its possible loss, I sure as heck believe we can fight for our neighbor to be able to go back to work. I think the extension of the $600 unemployment in New York and nationally, we don't want it to be consistent, but for now, it is needed still. I'll be honest, it's needed. It's frustrating we have to still do this, but this next phase in New York City is not coming anytime soon. Locally. And as we do this next stage of unemployment, I say we got to encourage people to apply back to jobs, even if it's work from home jobs, so that unemployment can be saved for others who truly need it, who truly cannot find it. So if we can mourn, if we can fight for TikTok to stay on, I sure as heck believe we can fight for someone to be able to get off unemployment. We can fight to encourage people who can to go back to work. Encourage them. Don't always give them the next $600. I'm also hoping, more so than anything, that these rents, the moratorium on rent, does get increased. Look, you're going to have a tough month. More heat. You're going to have a tough month of August. If you're going to have more heat, evictions really rolling out, I can't even imagine that, how that's going to affect us on the whole. But I know it will. I know it will. Yeah, I'm wearing the Blackhawk jersey. There we go. And they had a nice win. And sports is kind of heading all over the place, right? So we finally got hockey up and running. We finally got basketball up and running the last couple of days. Baseball is having its snags. We have another cancellation on Monday of the Phillies-Yankees. We'll have to see how that goes. And so, if we can fight for TikTok, I also think we can fight to stay safe. We can fight for a middle ground on reopening. We cannot be in the loop of full lockdown and at least partial reopening. And don't get me wrong, I was rollerblading. There are tons open, and I love that. But I was rolling around 6th Avenue today, and I was a little sad that nobody wanted to come back. So, okay, let's start the reopening then. Let's start the reopening. And focus on the bigger thing that I'm really, really wanting to see. And yes, I'm going to move back to TikTok. Because if we can fight for TikTok, you know what we could also do? We can fight to make sure the city of New York, the city of Chicago, Portland, Seattle, American cities, that they can have their city back. That 420,000 leaving Manhattan, leaving New York, can come back, can have an incentive to come back. And when I see empty streets, I get it. I'm not happy. It's sad. And it's more sad because it's almost like leadership has given up a little bit. Given up on one key thing. Being able to bring New Yorkers back. That should be the focus. Safely, but surely. Because if we can focus on bringing people back, if we can focus on what could be banned, like TikTok, heck, I'm also going to use my platform to focus on the good, the bad, and the ugly of New York City right now. Because we can focus on all three. The good is that there is vibrancy. Central Park had a wedding today. I love seeing that. I love seeing that. I bet that's the fountain. Oh, awesome. You'll see it on Alex Street NYC on Twitter and Instagram in a minute. So you can highlight that good stuff. I love rolling through places that have outdoor dining. I know when it gets hot, I was hoping indoor would happen too. I think that's also a fear of the government overreach right now, or government reaching in right now to businesses' lives to basically tell them you don't know what you're doing. And I really don't agree with that behavior. But you also have to show the empty streets. You have to show it because people may not see it. And I know yesterday on Instagram, mainly on Facebook and actually TikTok, I wore my NYPD shirt into the city yesterday. It was quite amazing. I was a little nervous to back the blue. But I realized there was a bigger purpose for me to do that. To show that I think at the end of the day, people can support what they want in the city and go unscathed. I think we do have to turn off the TV. I do think we have to not get rid of, they can do it, but sometimes not devote all our attention to the daily briefings of at least Cuomo, de Blasio, and to an extent Trump. That to live it out ourselves right now is the biggest hope. Because I seriously cannot find a glimmer of hope coming from many in leadership. So it's up to us to find that glimmer of hope. It's up to us to do that. For many and for myself, sure, TikTok is a glimmer of hope. So, okay, you want to fight for that? Fight to also find your own glimmer of hope in New York. Because we are right now in a place where I don't know what leader's doing what. I don't know who's providing any hope whatsoever. So it's we the people, man. It's we the people that have to do it. And I think that glimmer of hope is TikTok not being banned. That big hope is China's ByteDance pulling out of TikTok entirely. The tide of China's gone, and who knows where this can go from here. It's very cool, though, to see that happening. So what's it going to be? Are we going to let an empty city happen, or are we going to fight to bring it back, to have incentives to have it back, little by little? I'm not saying everybody back in tomorrow. I'm saying let's gradually get back to New York. And if there are issues when we go full steam ahead, we deal with it. But right now, little by little, 420,000 people are not in the city. Probably more than that since April. Time's ticking. How can we get people back into our beautiful city? New York, a heck of a town it is. But right now, I just don't think our leadership values it as that. Yet, there are great people out there who do value the city. And we the people. And it's those folks we have to lean toward more to. It's that groupthink of those who want to find solutions that we have to look to. Or we may never get the city back as it was. And as a boy from New York City, man who's been born and raised here, I'm ready. I'm ready for our city to be back. Little by little, again, middle ground people. And we can find that. And there is some of that. But there could be so much more. And I'm actually happy Cuomo's a little upset that the city didn't release its reopening plans earlier. That's very interesting. I'm upset. I'm happy that he's upset that New Yorkers are fleeing. New York City's fleeing. He wants to bring them back, according to J.P. Miller of Empire Report, reporting on that story, linking it up at the Empire Report. So, what are you going to do about it, Governor? What are you going to do about Mayor de Blasio? You see your city the way it is. You see people leaving. You see some may never come back. Time to do it. If a sector can fight for TikTok to be alive and not banned tonight, a whole other sector could fight to make sure Cuomo and de Blasio do what's safe for New York, absolutely, but also do what is necessary to keep the city running the best it can. I'm Alex Garrett. Have a great Saturday night. TikTok's not banned. The city is recovering. Let's just see a speedier recovery little by little. And we can all do it. We can all pitch it here on Alex Garrett Podcast. Talk to you soon.